Hey YouTube, it's Tibbo here from Console Only Gamers, and this is the first video of our channel. Today we're going to be giving you our top 10 tips on Blackout to try and make you a better player, and we're hoping for 10 likes, so please drop a like at the end of this video if you find it useful. Tip number 1, landing quickly. In any battle royale game, landing quickly is key to making sure you can be the first to loot and grab a weapon. The best way to do this is to jump out of the plane, head straight down until you hit around 69 to 71 MPS, and then pull up, allowing you to glide and fall at the same time at around 65 MPS and getting you to where you want to go to faster. This is so important for landing first. It is something that I would try and learn and do over and over again until you really perfect it. You can pretty much get to anywhere in the map, no matter where the bus is coming in from, if you jump right at the beginning. Which brings me on to tip number 2, looting. So one of the things you can do in Blackout is you can actually change your looting settings. What you need to do is go into the Blackout settings, and you can change the looting button so that you no longer have to hold square or X, but you can tap the button instead. Meaning if you and opponent are both going for a gun, unless they also have this turned on, you're guaranteed to pick that weapon up before them. There is a slight downside to this, however. If you're trying to reload and there's something on the ground near you, it will likely try and pick up that item. So that's just something to be aware of, and you may still prefer to hold the button down rather than tap, but I would suggest strongly trying both ways of doing it and picking what is best for you. Tip number 3, learning a location. Again, key point in any battle royale game is once you know the ways in and out of a location, where all the possible spawn points are for any loot, if there's any potential boxes where the vehicles would be, all the best viewpoints in an area, you'll have the upper hand and normally leave that location with a few kills. Which brings us on to point 4, picking a locations or the locations to learn. Personally, I like to land near the middle of the map, so I don't normally have to move far, if at all, to the first circle, meaning I've got less to worry about other than just looting and trying to get some kills. So personally, I like landing in Fracking Tower, Rivertown and the firing range. So looking back at the last point of learning a location, I would strongly suggest learning 2 or 3 so that you can switch it up depending on the chopper route. Tip number 5, vehicles. So this is something I see a lot of people do. Personally for me, vehicles is a big no-no in Blackout. They are so loud and you can hear them from so far away. So unless you are in any real need to use one, I just wouldn't bother, as it can give away your location so easily, and there are so many good snipers out there that will just pick you off whilst you're going off on a quad, or as you're jumping out of your truck, or they've got the guided missiles for things like the helicopter. So personally, unless you have to, I would never use a vehicle unless it's critical, you're going to die in the storm sort of thing. Point number 6, using tactical equipment. So the tactical equipment in this game is so underutilized from what I've seen. Very, very rarely do I get hit with a concussion or anything like that. But using concussions or 9-bangs at the right time is so overpowered, and it really can give you the edge to pick off players. They are absolute fantastic tools to use, and I would strongly recommend picking up any of these tactical equipment as and when you can. Point number 7, weapon choices. So personally, I like to run an AR, and my preferred is the VAP RXKG. And then a long range weapon like a sniper or even the Auger DMR. It's entirely personal preference, and if you'd prefer a shotgun or SMG, then that's entirely up to you. But often I see players carrying 2 ARs, and very rarely, if at all, are you really going to swap between the 2 ARs, because there's not really much difference between them all. Fine, you might put a 4x sight on one and a 2 on another, or an ELO on it, so you have a mid and a short and a long range weapon. But personally, if you're going to pick a long range weapon and put a 3 or 4 times scope on it, I would always pick a single shot AR at the least, or a sniper gun. But again, you're more than welcome to look at an SMG or a shotgun if you would prefer to have that, mid to long, and then short range engagement weapons. Point number 8, gunfights and knowing when to walk away. So this is something that I am guilty of myself, and the worst thing you can do is chase down a fight, because unlike Fortnite, where you can build yourself a tower or ramp rush someone to give you cover and high ground, you could quickly go from having the advantage in this game to all of a sudden being at a disadvantage and cutting your time short in the actual game. So make sure that you don't chase down every kill unless you know that you can keep that cover and the advantage, because this is going to be key to staying alive. And the amount of times I have chased down a kill just to run over the brow of a hill and have them laying on the floor in a bush where I can't see them, or be shot from the side where I wasn't even thinking at the time because I was too focused on that particular player, is ridiculous. So I would suggest not doing it and really making good choices as knowing when to walk away from a gunfight. Point number 9, the minimap. So again, in the settings, you can actually change your minimap from the standard square minimap into a circle. Obviously, this gives you less coverage because the map is actually smaller, but personally, I prefer it as the map actually moves with my arrow, so my arrow is always pointing up, making it, in my personal opinion, easier to navigate. And when I'm in squad mode and all my teammates are all on top of each other and we're all in a building, it makes it easier to know what arrow and what colour I am, improving my communication with my team, allowing me to give better directions and better instructions. And our final point, point number 10, is perks. Personally, I think a number of the perks are pretty useless, and unless it's the beginning of the game and I pick up looter or medic or brawler, I won't really use them. However, towards the mid-end of the game, if you combine dead silence and awareness, this will just make you so overpowered. You know, allowing you to hear where people are from further away and sneak up without them being able to hear you is absolutely phenomenal. And if you then combine those two with Skulker as well, these are by far, in my opinion, the best 3 perks in the game. And at the end of the game, it could make the real difference between you getting the win or coming second or third. So these are our top 10 tips. If you like the video and the information, please drop a like, share, and obviously sub to the channel, and we hope to see you again next time.